But airline executives warned the Senate Commerce Committee on Wednesday that 5G could divert, delay, or even cancel about 4% of daily flights, impacting thousands of passengers. Alex?
All right, thank you, Dave. Joining us now to discuss is Hugh Odom, founder and president of Vertical Consultants. Hugh, thanks for joining us this morning. So what is the issue or the main issue of 5G that makes it interfere with flights so much?
Well, as mentioned, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile spent about $80 billion buying what's called C-band access. And this is access that's a little more crowded in the industry and is impacting what the Federal Aviation and Aviation Ministry is saying. It's in fact impacting more particularly the altimeters, which are the method by which you determine altitude when you're landing the plane. And where we're coming into play is they're saying in the 40 biggest markets, there's a potential for an interference between 5G and the C-band realm and those altimeters.
The average flyer, what type of impact can this 5G disruption have on, let's say, just, a normal flight, an average flight?
Well, a couple of things. The issue is a delay in the flight, a cancellation because the FAA or the aviation industry is saying we are uncertain or unfamiliar with what's going to go on with these altimeters, and they're trying to work with the wireless industry to try to get some kind of methodology in place to where there's not an interference level that would cause concern, which would delay or cancellation of flights, which could cause a lot of issues starting in the new year.
So Verizon and AT&T did push back the commercial launch of the wireless service, but they argue that 5G is safe and doesn't cause problems to aviation programs in nearly 40 other countries. So why will it be such a problem here in the U.S.?
Well, the pushback from the wireless industry has some merit. It seems like in the aviation industry, the altimeters, which we just mentioned, don't have a standardized way of who develops those, what manufacturer levels, and filters, which filter out interruption. So the wireless industry is saying, look, in 40 other countries, we're not seeing this issue at all. And some of that seems to be because there's standards with regards to filtering on the altimeters. And they're saying, look, the issue not our 5G service, which is set to go out, and the FAA and the aviation industry has known about for a long time. It is the non-standardized altimeters, and there's a push to get that resolved versus the 5G rollout resolved.
So when we talk about solutions, then who exactly resolves this issue between the aviation and communications industries?
Well, the Biden administration is kind of looking over this and trying to make a step to get these two sides together. But in our opinion, again, the issue is not the 5G service. It is more on the aviation industry to try to standardize these altimeters because there's a quote unquote potential interference. But if there was a certain standard that the altimeters were set to, then the 5G and the service, which AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile provide, could be set in a way to counteract that possible interference.
All right, Hugh Odom, founder and president of Vertical Consultants, thank you for joining us this morning on Morning Rush.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, now President